So let's return to our top story. We heard earlier from the President, the Police Minister and also the Defence Minister saying that no violence will be tolerated on Monday. Interestingly, the taxi industry has come out and said that it will not support the EFF's shutdown and they will be taking people to work on Monday who want to do so. Let's speak now to Santaco President Abner Tsebe. Mr. Tsebe, thank you so much for your time. I know that you had a meeting with the EFF last night. What was in that discussion? What were you discussing with them? I think you may be muted, sir. I'm so sorry. I think you might have muted yourself.
Am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Sorry, you can start again.
Yes. Yes, thank you very much. And let me greet the viewers. From our meetings with the EFF yesterday on the 15th, the taxi industry, we will operate as normal on the day of the national shutdown, and that will be accordingly. We have informed all our provinces of these decisions, but also notwithstanding its decision not to participate in the national shutdown, the Santaco or the taxi industry respect the reasons of the EFF to embark on the national shutdown protest. And we want to emphasize that the meeting was cordial and the views of both parties were respectfully welcome. And we even replied to the EFF's letter, and which the EFF respected, and the EFF's courtesy to meet and brief Santaco was also welcome. And against this, we therefore confidently believe that come the 20th, we will all work together to afford each other space in pursuit of our diverse interests and intended objectives of the day. So this is our position from the taxi industry, from Santaco, and we hope that come Monday, this will be seen. The taxi industry, there will be normal taxi operations on that day. Thank you.
We do know that Julius Malema was at the airport yesterday, or not he, or members of the EFF were at the airport. There were calls for planes not to fly. We know from AXA that planes will be flying. Did he want you to shut down operations, all taxi operations in the country?
No, not at all.
So why did he meet with you then?
Yeah, the meeting, the leadership was to talk about the EFF's planned national shutdown, just to give us a brief as to what will transpire.
Okay. So what percentage of taxis on our roads does Santaco represent?
Look, we represent almost 70% of our commuters, and I think going forward, remember that on Tuesday it's a holiday, it's a public holiday. So hence we are saying to us it's a long weekend, but we'll be working like on normal days when we work, even if it's holidays, you know, that taxis are moving. They were moving even during COVID, you know, on difficult times. But yeah, that's where we are now so far.
Do you have an assurance from the EFF that taxi operators will not be disturbed in any way? Because everyone has a right to demonstrate, but no one has a right to be violent. And there have been quite a lot of inflammatory things that we've heard from the EFF, and a lot of people are quite concerned about it. Have you got an assurance from the EFF that they will not interfere with any of Santaco's operations?
Look, there's the agreement is that any illegal activities that will leave to the law enforcement, we won't take the law into our own hands. Yes, that is an assurance. So we are looking forward to the law enforcement to protect the interest of those that will want to do their daily activities and or
which is, yeah, it's not quite what I asked. What I wanted to know is whether you've received an assurance from the EFF that taxis will be safe on the roads on Monday. All right. So I know that we're going to try and get Abner Tsebe back on to continue that conversation. He's the president of Santaco, confirming that he did in fact meet with the EFF yesterday, representing about 70% of commuters who use taxis. So it's a large proportion of the taxis that we see on the road falls under Santaco. And basically they've said to the EFF, we're going to continue operating. He said it was a very cordial conversation, made it clear that Santaco was going to be on the road, moving people around as they need to. Doesn't seem to be concerned at this point by some of the threats that have been made by the EFF, but it'd be great if we can get Abner Tsebe of Santaco back on the line just to finish that conversation, because of course commuters want to know if it is going to be safe. Abner, you're back with us. Hi.
Yes, network problems.
It is the story of our lives at the moment, these network problems, isn't it, with load shedding?
Yeah.
But we were chatting about whether you got any kind of assurance from the EFF that your taxis will be safe on Monday.
Yeah, look, and we agreed that the taxi industry normally works under very difficult circumstances. This is not the first. Our drivers and owners and operators are able to maneuver in whatever situation, but the assurance as well, the guarantees, we wanted to put it on the law enforcement for those illegal activities that will be taking place. The law enforcement will have to step in there because we don't want to be seen to be taking the law into our own hands.
Oh, I understand that completely. No, and I don't think that would be expected of you, and you're absolutely right. It is up to the security forces to make sure people are safe. What I want to know is whether the EFF has given you a guarantee that they'll leave taxis alone, and I'm guessing you didn't get one.
Yes, they will leave taxis. There's a guarantee that they will leave taxis alone.
Okay, so that's good news. So message to your commuters who might want to take a taxi on Monday, what would you like to say to them?
To our commuters, we would say taxi operations will be normal on Monday. And we hope that it will be a peaceful engagement of EFF on their national shutdown, but only also remembering that South Africans, since the COVID, we are very much affected. And we've alluded that to them that since there's no relief up to so far, so most businesses are just trying their level best, which the taxi industry is one of them. And then we agree to that, look, there are challenges, but unfortunately, we have to respect the agenda of the EFF for the national shutdown. But also from our side as business, it's a policy decision that we've taken. It's not personal, that the taxis will be operating in all provinces. Yeah,
so it's about keeping your going concern going, respecting the right of EFF, but being very pragmatic because still in recovery after the COVID losses, you've got to keep the show on the road. Thank you so much for chatting to us this evening. I do appreciate it. That is Abner Tsebe. He's the president of Santaco. They represent about 70% of the commuters and the taxis on our roads. We've got more news for you in just a moment.